It is 1922. You are 17. You hold a fine brush. The pot glows. You paint the numbers. The tip spreads. So you point it. Lips, dip, paint, no taste. Again, hundreds a day. You glow in the dark. Even walking home, you think it is fun. You are swallowing poison, a little with every dial, and nobody warned you? You are not alone. There were hundreds like you. So, who were they? A dream job for the time. It paid well, better than most jobs open to them. The work seemed clean and skilled. The war needed glowing dials, then clocks for every home. Orders kept pouring in. One plant sat in New Jersey, another in Illinois. The workers were girls, some barely out of school. Sisters worked side by side. Friends spent every day together. They wore the glow with pride. At dances they shone. They painted their nails with it. A few even brushed it on their teeth. So what made it shine? The paint was called undark, glue, water, a glowing dust. The dust held one deadly metal, a new element freshly discovered. It shone without any flame. The shine seemed to never fade. They stirred it into the paint. The girls were taught a trick. Copy me, they were told. Lip pointing, they called it. It kept the tip razor sharp. A fine point meant quicker work. Speed earned a little more. Each point swallowed a trace, too small to notice, multiplied across thousands of dials, every shift, every week, for years on end. Some of them did ask, will this hurt us? They were told it was safe. It would put color in your cheeks. Some were told it was healthy. Radium was the wonder of the age. The papers hailed it as a cure. Rich men drank it as a tonic. It was in creams and toothpaste. Beauty ads promised a luminous face. The glow felt like glamour. Why would a girl fear it? So she trusted them and kept painting. Now watch what it did inside. First, the speck went down. It passed into the gut. From there, into the blood. It was carried everywhere. The body confused it for calcium. The two looked almost the same. So it sorted the poison as food and filed it into the skeleton. Above all, the jaw and teeth. The part the brush touched most. It packed into the honeycomb of bone. And there it stayed for good. The body could not wash it out. From inside, it never stopped. Point blank into living cells. Day and night, year on year. It could not be switched off. Cell by cell, the tissue died. New bone could not form. Slowly, the frame gave way. It grew hollow from within. For years, she felt nothing. The damage was a slow fuse. The harm stayed hidden. Then a tooth began to ache. She thought little of it. A dentist pulled it out, but the socket never closed. The dentist was baffled. One by one, more teeth went. Doctors named the condition. Nobody knew how to stop it. The jawbone was breaking apart. Pieces had to be removed. Other bones snapped on their own. A hip could break while walking. Some women even grew shorter. Blood counts fell. She grew weak. Simple days left her exhausted. Growths formed in the bone. Some still glowed faintly at night. The glow was even on their breath. So did the company know? Its chemists were experts. They understood the danger well. The men used lead screens and tongs. Some even wore masks. A chemist would never taste it. The girls used their lips, one side protected, one not. Both worked under one roof. Then the girls started dying, one empty seat, then more. The firm denied any link. It asked everyone to stay quiet. It pointed to other illnesses. It even smeared their private lives. The blame was turned on them. Its doctors examined them, then told them they were fine. They were far from fine, and it buried what they found. Meanwhile, the paint kept selling. Then came the reckoning. One of them refused to stay quiet. Her name was Grace Fryer, an ordinary working woman. Her own jaw was failing. Still, she would not back down. For 2 years, no lawyer would help. The company was too big to fight. At last, one agreed. 4 more joined her. They sued the company. 5 dying women against a giant. Lawyers dragged the case out. Time was the one thing they lacked. Some could not lift an arm. They testified from their chairs. Weak in body, steady in voice. The papers made them famous. The public was horrified. Anger pressed on the firm. In 1928, they settled. The firm admitted no wrong. For several, it came too late. But their fight changed everything. Before them, a sick worker had no recourse. Now workers won the right to sue. For an illness caught on the job. It set a lasting precedent. New safety rules followed. The deadly brush trick was banned. And the first limits on exposure. Protection standards were born. Later workers were watched for harm. Their suffering taught science its dangers. That knowledge protects us now. A lesson paid for in bone. Decades later, researchers returned. They studied the women's remains. They wondered what was left. The bones were still active. The meter climbed and would not settle. A century on, they still glow. The poison outlived them all. They were poisoned by a promise. It was one small word. We still read that word today, and we still believe it. They were only doing their work. They clocked in like anyone. They painted light for a living. We owe them our memory. And the thing that shone the brightest was the one that killed them.